Good afternoon and welcome back everybody to, what is this, lesson 6 now? In this lesson we're going to carry on focusing with conditionals, but instead of an if statement, this time we're going to look at the switch statement. It's very similar to the if statement in the sense that it allows you to execute different parts of code based on some expression. Anyway, it's simpler than it sounds. Let's just get straight to it. So I'm going to start off with deleting the code in the main method here to begin with. And for this, I'm going to use an example of a compass, a simple 4-directional compass, north, east, south and west. And depending on what the input is, so the direction, we're going to print out either north, south, east or west. So let's just start with creating a string for the direction. And I'm just going to set this blank for the time being. And now what we need to do, we write the word switch. And the expression, so like similar to how we had inside the if statement, we had a condition. In here, it's going to be the same thing. So we're going to switch on the direction. Make sure to add the brackets, which I've just forgotten. And then inside this switch block, we're going to write each of our cases. So all of the possible different things that this direction could be. So we're going to write a case for it being north. And then inside this case, we just want to print out, we're just going to print out the word north, just so we know we're inside this block. And let's do the same thing for the rest of the cases, so we know we're going to have a south. And I'm just going to copy these two and then change them to east and west, just save a little bit of time. So north, south, east and west. Cool. So if I run this now, I'd expect none of these to get printed out because currently direction is set to blank. So let's just make sure that happens. Now, if I set this to north, I'd expect the north statement to be printed out. But let's just watch that. That's strange. So we seem to get all 4 statements printed out. Let's try east. Oh, okay, so now we just get east and west printed out. This is a bit strange, and I'll explain to you what's happening. So the switch direction is matching on whatever the first one it finds, but the problem is it's then executing all of the cases underneath it. Now, we don't want that to happen, so what we need to do after each case is just to say the word break. And that just means once you've executed this line, break out of the switch statement, and then it won't execute the other lines. So let's just try this. Perfect, and now we only get the one case printed out, which is what we were after. The only other thing to really say about switch statements is you can have a default case, which sort of behaves in exactly the way you'd expect. So that if the value here doesn't match any of the cases, then it will use the default statement. So let's just say not matched, and I'll change this to something that doesn't match. Cool, and then we get not matched. So that's basically it for switch statements. There's not a lot to them. Whether you use an if statement or whether you use a switch statement, it kind of depends on the problem and what feels the best one to use. But other than that, yeah, that's all there is to it. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you back for the next lesson. Cheers everybody, bye bye.